Bienvenidas una vez más a nuestra clase de español básico. Espero se diviertan bastante, aprendan mucho. Les recordamos que esta clase va a estar grabada en nuestra página de Facebook y también en nuestro canal de YouTube. Así que ustedes pueden volverla a ver para que también aprendan cositas, anoten otras cosas. Y bueno, espero se diviertan bastante. Los invitamos a que se conecten a nuestros otros eventos por hola.dancefree.com.co y que se diviertan mucho. Diana,
Tengo una
puedes comenzar.
inquietud. ¿Dónde va a estar grabada la clase? Ay,
En Facebook.
En Facebook y en nuestro canal de YouTube, Dance Free.
bueno, muchas gracias.
Con gusto.
Con gusto, Edwin. Bueno, buenas tardes. ¿Cómo están todos? Mi nombre es Diana, para las personas que no me conocen, y soy su profesora de español. Espero que todos estén muy bien y voy a empezar la clase. Today's class is going to be, I think, useful and fun because it's going to be something that you can use to catch up, which in Spanish means ponerse al día. When you haven't seen someone for some time, yes, and you want to know what's been going on with this person, what has been about in his or her life. Okay, so I'm going to start here. This is going to be always like a conversation. The format today is going to be a lot of questions and answers. And as usual, you can always ask for whatever you want to know about and everything. Okay. So when you see someone you haven't seen in a long time, so you say something like, hola, tanto tiempo sin verte. Tanto tiempo sin verte, which would be something like, hello, no, long time no see. Yes, long time no see. Tanto tiempo sin verte. Or, for example, here I have an answer. Hola, ¿cómo has estado? ¿Cómo has estado? This is a typical question when you see someone, when you just say hi. ¿Cómo has estado? Hello, how have you been? How have you been? Yes. Hola, tanto tiempo sin verte. Hola, ¿cómo has estado? Yes. Any questions about vocabulary or pronunciation?
Here, tanto, actually, mucho tiempo sin verte. What is the difference? Tanto tiempo sin verte or mucho tiempo sin verte?
Well, tanto is also meaning like mucho, yes, tanto. But it's about the expression. The expression, we wouldn't say mucho tiempo sin verte. Tanto is like when you say in English, for example, when you say, oh, so that's so beautiful. Oh, so it's like that, so that means much, yes, but it's for an expression of surprise, you know, like surprise. So this one works better than mucho. So naturally, we wouldn't say mucho tiempo sin verte. We would be tanto tiempo sin verte.
Gracias. Because when I was learning that time, I translated and I have used a lot of time. Mucho tiempo sin verte, amigo. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasó? I used to say that. So that means I was, all the time I was wrong. Actually, not wrong, but not makes sense a little bit, yeah?
well, it's not about wrong and it's not about it doesn't make sense. I think it's more about this one is more used. So don't worry. You can either keep using mucho or sometimes you can use tanto. You have now two options. Okay. Any more questions? ¿Alguna otra pregunta? ¿Alguien quisiera una persona que lea las frases para escucharlos? Por favor y gracias.
I'll read it.
Sí,
¿Hago?
gracias. Ujú.
Hola, tanto tiempo sin verte. Hola, ¿cómo has estado?
¿Cómo has estado? Ajá. Súper bien.
I'll read it.
Ok, Nick.
Tanto tiempo sin verte. Hola, ¿cómo has estado? So
Hola.
in English, we also use that quite a bit. We can say, you are so beautiful, or you are very beautiful, or I am so tired. I am very tired. They're kind of interchangeable. It's very similar here, right? The tanto and mucho.
Tanto and ajá, sí. Yes. Soy muy.
But
Sí.
sometimes you also use the so, and I think in Spanish too, to compare something, right?
Yes, that's true.
Okay,
Yes, that's true.
gracias.
When normally when you make comparisons, that one is less than the other. So you say, no es tan, el agua aquí no es tan clara. Water here is not so clear. No es tan clara. So yes, it's used also with comparison. Okay.
Or like the weather is not so good in here as in Medellin.
Ajá. Ah, qué triste.
Now, almost.
Ok, bueno, voy a continuar. I'm going to continue here. So to answer the questions, okay. Muy bien, ¿y tú? ¿Qué hay de ti? Muy bien, ¿y tú? ¿Qué hay de ti? So some people are always asking for another way to say muy bien, ¿y tú? Because we normally say the same thing. So you can add something else. ¿Qué hay de ti? Very well. And you? What's up with you? Is this ¿qué hay de ti? Yes, what's up with you? Or what's going on with you? Something like that. Yes. ¿Qué hay de ti? Todo muy bien. Me alegra verte. Todo muy bien, me alegra verte. Everything okay, or everything's fine. Yes. I'm happy to see you. This one, me alegra verte. Me alegra verte. It's like seeing you makes me happy. Yes, I'm happy to see you. Me alegra verte. Okay, I'm going to read again so that you listen to my pronunciation, and please one person to read those sentences. Yes. Muy bien, ¿y tú? ¿Qué hay de ti? Todo muy bien. Me alegra verte. No, it would be something like me alegra verte. Me alegra verte. It's like you put an accent in verte. Me alegra verte. Okay, somebody who would like to read, please. And sorry.
I'll go.
Okay.
Muy bien, ¿y tú? ¿Qué hay de ti? Todo muy bien. Me alegra verte.
Me alegra
I'll give it a
verte.
try.
Sí, Mike.
Muy bien. ¿Y tú? ¿Qué hay de ti? Todo muy bien. Me alegra verte.
Sí, muy bien. ¿Qué hay de ti?
Muy bien. ¿Y tú? ¿Qué hay de ti? Todo muy bien, me alegro verte.
Aquí en verte.
Verte.
Eso, la E abierta.
Abierta.
Sí, verte. No
Verta.
sí. Y aquí, por ejemplo, en la primera pregunta, bueno, la segunda. Muy bien, ¿y tú? ¿Qué hay? ¿Qué hay? ¿Qué hay? Like
¿Qué hay?
one word. ¿Qué hay?
Sí. ¿Qué hay?
Ajá.
¿Qué hay de
Ajá.
ti?
Eso, súper bien. Sí, esta es mejor no parar. Don't stop. Don't try to say like one word. Know what I mean? Like not cut the flow. I know it's two separate words, but in the normal speech you say like if it was one. ¿Qué hay? ¿Qué hay de ti? ¿Qué hay de ti? Okay, so that you have that into account. So it sounds more fluid, more fluent. Sorry. Okay, any questions here?
Yeah, just little bit. I got still little bit confusion here. This itu de ti, both tu also you, ti also you. Why don't we say que hay de tu?
Que y tú. Okay.
Yeah. Que hay de tu?
Y tú.
Why we are saying que hay de ti?
Que hay de ti. Is because, well, in the first one, tú, it comes from like someone asked you, how are you, or how have you been, right? And you keep being the subject in the question, and you, it's like, ¿y tú cómo estás? And how are you? Yes. But when I change the question and I say something like in this question, ¿qué hay de ti? Then you, the person you are talking to, becomes like the object of the sentence. Is not the subject, is the object, because ¿qué hay is like what's going on, or yes, what's happening, yes. So it's like with you or to you, what's happening to you, what's happening with you. So you are not the subject. That's why you change it to ti, the ti. And normally when you have the adjective, that's not an adjective, the preposition de, and then you want to say you, yes, meaning you, the second person singular, you always say de ti, de ti. For example, when you say I remember you, in Spanish we say yo me acuerdo de ti.
Ti.
It's just because,
Gracias.
yes, in this question, the person is not the subject, but the object. I hope it makes sense.
Yeah, yes. Gracias.
Can I ask something? When do you use todos and when do you use todo?
Well, it has to do with similar to when you say countable and uncountable. For example, in here, when you say todo muy bien, you're meaning like your life is going well, like it's like the situation, like a situation. So let's say it's not countable. Yes. When it was countable, If it was countable, something countable, you would have to say todos. Todos muy bien. But it's also like, it's just the expression of saying that, well, your life's going well, or that everything is okay, you know. But yes, it's about countable and uncountable. This is something uncountable because you're just talking in general about your life. So you don't say todos, you say todos.
Gracias. Gracias.
Okay, con mucho gusto.
How do you say I'm happy to hear from you rather than see?
Me alegra escuchar de ti.
Okay, bueno, gracias.
Escuchar de ti.
Diana, I have a question on the countable and non-countable. It always puzzled me a bit why in Spanish we say una ensalada or un café.
Una ensalada o un café.
They're not really countable, are they? Like in English, we wouldn't say a salad.
A salad. It's about portions. It's about a serving. We call them when they are in servings. So you say una ensalada or un café, because when I have here my cup and I know this is normally a serving of coffee, so I say un café.
So the cup is kind of implied, or the tazón is not said, but it's implied.
Exactly, exactly.
Gracias.
Con gusto. I need 1 second because my cat is eating a pill, a painkiller, so I'm sorry.
Traviesa. Is it?
You see why I told you shh, es la loca, the crazy. She was eating my painkillers.
Oh, maybe you got a headache.
Oh,
Would you say the word here travioso or no? For like mischievous.
Traviesa.
Traviesa.
Traviesa. I'm going to try to write it in the chat. Sometimes I can't access my chat. If someone can write, Luisa, can you write travieso, traviesa? Mischievous. Yes. Oh my God, she's crazy.
Or naughty.
Or naughty. Yes, can you believe that? She almost ate my painkillers. Okay. Okay. Una ensalada. Okay. You see? Oh my God, you read my mind. Here we have, te invito a un café para que charlemos. Te invito a un café para que charlemos. I invite you to a coffee, to a cup of coffee, my mistake, to a cup of coffee to chat. Te invito a un café para que charlemos. Okay, or maybe I think it would be better if you say in English, let me invite you to a cup of coffee. Yes, because this is like right now. I'm inviting you right now. Te invito a un café para que charlemos. So the verb charlar that I wrote earlier in the chat, charlar, to chat, yes, just to have a conversation, short conversation, yes. Me encanta la idea. I love the idea. Me encanta la idea. Okay. So as we were saying before, it's normal to say un café, una ensalada, una sopa, yes. And sometimes it's confusing because in English you make so much the distinction sometimes between countable and uncountable. But we put it's implicit that when you drink coffee, you normally drink a cup of coffee. When you eat salad, you have like a certain portion or serving of salad. When you have some soup, it's like a bowl or a little dish of soup. Yes, it's implicit that you have a specific serving for that specific portion. So it's normal we say un café, una sopa, una ensalada. Okay, I would like to listen to someone. Read.
Te invito a un café para que charlemos. Me encanta la idea.
Me encanta la idea. Te invito a un café para que charlemos.
Te invito a un café para que charlemos. Me encanta la idea.
Marshall, ¿qué?
¿Para qué?
Eso, una E abierta. It's like an open E.
Gracias.
¿Para qué charlemos? Me encanta la idea. Okay, and so we continue with the conversation, and it says here, cuéntame, ¿qué has estado haciendo? Cuéntame, ¿qué has estado haciendo? Tell me, what have you been doing? Yes. ¿Qué has estado haciendo? He estado viajando mucho. He estado viajando mucho. I have been traveling a lot. He estado viajando mucho. Yes. So, cuéntame. When you want to ask someone to tell you something, cuéntame. Yes, and here it's just the same, it's translated, the same question. What have you been doing? ¿Qué has estado haciendo? He estado viajando mucho. Yes.
Is cuéntame a verb?
Yes, it comes from contar.
Contar. C-U-N-T-A-R.
Sí, C-O.
C-O.
Ajá. C-O-N-T-A-R.
También de charlar.
Sí, pues tiene que ver con charlar.
De hablar.
De hablar, eso. De hablar. Pero es to tell. To tell. Contar.
And is cuéntame and dime the same thing?
I think
That's a good
it's,
question.
yes. Contar has more the sense of a story. Like when you say cuéntame, it's like tell me the story about this. Dime is more like say, it's not so much about a story, but like kind of a certain information. For example, dime tu nombre, tell me your name. You would say that, not cuéntame tu nombre, because cuéntame is like tell me, but it's like kind of a story. Or dime tu fecha de nacimiento, tell me your birth date. It's more about, yes.
Sometimes I hear Elena in the intercambio, somebody else say Elena, and she'll say dime. So it's like you're going to ask her something, and she says dime.
Okay. Yes.
Kind of.
Yes, I know what you mean. And decir is more like, I think it's similar to English when you the verb to say. Contar is to tell, decir is to say, and this is an expression we have. It's just to let you know that I'm listening to you. We say dime.
Sometimes in English we say recount the story for me.
Recount the story.
Like sort of recount, like similar to tell me, but more about, like you said, a story or something you did, or as opposed to give me, like, tell me the time, tell me what time it is. It's more like recounting or telling a story or about something you did. That's another option that we use in English.
Yes.
To describe the difference.
Yes, yes, it's just that when you say contar, there is a story to tell. Decir is more about a specific information that you need from the other person. And when we say dime, because I think I say it too a lot, is just when somebody is asking for your attention and you want to tell them, yes, I'm listening. So we always say dime. It's like an expression, a fixed expression we have, dime. Like, yes, I'm listening to you. Tell me, what do you want to say?
Is there such thing as quantity? Quantity?
Quantity?
No, instead of me, te? No?
Cuenta.
No such thing?
No, that form, it wouldn't be possible. You can say, for example, to tell yourself.
So it wouldn't make sense. Oh, it would make sense. Okay, yeah. Because I'm just seeing the pronouns. I thought you could just add the pronouns to it. But yeah, it would make sense.
Yes, because it's cuéntame.
Okay.
So it's like tell me.
Is there cuéntase or no?
No.
No, okay, solo cuéntame.
Cuéntame.
Okay.
In this case, yes, it wouldn't work with yourself.
Okay. Unless you're crazy, local.
Yes, and well, it's because of the form of the verb. It's possible to write contarte. Contarte, it would work, but in another tense. For example, I want to tell you this that happened to me yesterday, right? So you would say something like, quiero contarte. Because it's tell you, contarte. Quiero contarte algo que me pasó ayer. In that case, it would work with you too. Contarte.
Gracias.
Con gusto.
Pregunta, por favor.
Ajá.
Tell us, ¿cuánta amas?
Tell us. Okay. If I would like to say, tell us.
Sí.
Tell me, but tell us. Okay. Tell us would be cuéntanos. With the final in the end, not me, but nos.
Sí.
Cuéntanos. Cuéntame. Ok. ¿Qué has estado haciendo? He estado viajando mucho. I have been traveling a lot. Okay. So I'm going to continue. Por trabajo. This is like a normal conversation you would have with someone that speaks Spanish. Por trabajo, sí, he estado tomando fotos de animales para una revista. Sí. he estado tomando fotos de animales para una revista. Yes, I have been taking photos of animals for magazines.
No uso por. Para.
No, because it's when it's destination, you use para and not for. You take the photos and they're destined to the magazine, right? So always when it's something you do destined to something else or to a place, you use para. Destination, always para.
Okay, gracias. And what do you use por?
Por can be used when it's a cause.
For money.
For example, por dinero, for money. For example, in the question is por, because I'm asking, have you been traveling because of work? Like, is the cause of your traveling work? So that's why I wrote here por trabajo. But then I want to
por
say
is equal to because in English.
Exactly, yes. Like because of. Yes, it sometimes is a little bit confusing, but if you try to keep in mind that difference is cause and destination. So you have more, you have a clearer idea of when to use por and para. Por is when you're talking about the cause of what you're doing, and para is more about the destination. The destination of this that you are doing. Yes. Okay, I'm going to read them again, and I want to listen to someone, please, for pronunciation, okay? So I say, por trabajo. Sí, he estado tomando fotos de animales para una revista.
Por trabajo, sí, he estado tomando fotos de animales para una revista.
Sí, muy bien.
Por trabajo, sí, he estado tomando fotos de animales para una revista.
Sí, súper bien. Qué bonita pronunciación.
Por trabajo, sí, he estado tomando fotos de animales para una revista.
Eso.
Por trabajo, sí, he estado tomando fotos de animales para una revista.
Trevor, aquí esta palabra H-E.
Okay, I get that mixed up. I was thinking, I get my A's and E's mixed up.
Yes, that's normal.
Yeah,
Por trabajo, sí, he estado tomando fotos de animales para una revista.
Eso, muy bien. Súper bien, eso me gusta. Bueno, voy a seguir. ¡Wow! ¡Qué interesante! ¿Y tú? ¿Has estado estudiando español? Otra vez. ¡Wow! ¡Qué interesante! That's our way to say, oh, how interesting. Yes. ¿Y tú? ¿Has estado estudiando español? And you, have you been studying Spanish? Have you been studying Spanish? ¿Has estado estudiando español? Yes. I'm going to read again if somebody would like to read to practice pronunciation, or if you have any questions, you're very welcome to make them. Wow, qué interesante. ¿Y tú has estado estudiando español? ¿Has estado estudiando español?
Wow, qué interesante. ¿Y tú has estado estudiando español?
Sí, estado.
Wow, qué interesante. ¿Y tú has estado estudiando español?
Súper bien.
Wow, qué interesante. ¿Y tú has estado estudiando español?
Sí, bueno, dos cosas. Two things I want to say. Number one, for example, I have been using this estado, yes, which is the verb be, yes, in a form that's called past participle, is been, yes, the meaning literal is been. When you pronounce this ending, ado, ado, in English, it's very common that when you have a D that's alone in between two syllables, you kind of change, you don't say D, but you say something like the, right? And you take that from English to Spanish, and you say something like estado. But the pronunciation in Spanish, it doesn't sound natural. So it's better if you try to say the D like we say in Spanish. Diana, estado, estado, do, da, de, ti, do, estado. And not say estado, because it doesn't sound, like natural in Spanish. Yes, has estado estudiando, estudiando. And here this word is long, interesante. Interesante is 5 syllables. So please don't miss any syllable. Interesante. And remember the letter E in Spanish, E always sounds E. Interesante. Okay. Do you have any questions? I guess the answer is no.
Do you have any tools for
Gracias.
practicing pronunciation? Like outside of class, any suggestions?
Oh, any suggestions?
Like someone tells me to say the alphabet, but I find when you combine it into words, I think I revert back to English, I think sometimes. I could do aba, se, de, but someone told me that helps, but I find when it's a combination of words and consonants, I don't know.
One thing you can do is try look for a song by someone, can be Colombian or
yeah, I just found that
Colombian or Mexican, and you can try to learn the lyrics and try to imitate their pronunciation. That's something for me. I think when I was learning, my first steps in English were because of music, and I always wanted to sound as similar as I could, the best I could, similar to what they were saying. That's
Okay.
one thing. The other thing could be just you read out loud. Don't say, I think it's nonsense to say the alphabet, but you can just read something out loud. And yes, take into account that every letter in Spanish sounds and that they always sound the same. So A is always A. And you can, for example, you can even try to focus on one or two letters only, and you try to be conscious of the pronunciation of those two letters while you're reading, even if the others you don't say well, but you focus one day, you focus on one or two letters, the other day you focus on another two letters, the other day another two letters.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I found an app too that's interesting. I'm going to try to use it more. It's called Lyrica, and it has music like you suggested.
Yes, it's so much fun. Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, reading out loud, for me, reading out loud I think it's good. It's
okay.
Very good.
Bueno idea. Gracias.
A ti. Okay, I'm going to continue here. Okay, more sentences, more expressions. Sí, me encanta. Y también, talking about the learning Spanish, right? Sí, me encanta. Y también he estado cuidando a mi mamá. Ella ha estado enferma los últimos meses. Sí, me encanta. Y también he estado cuidando a mi mamá. Ella ha estado enferma los últimos meses. Which would be, yes, I love it. Yes. I have also been taking care of my mom. She has been sick for the last few months. Yes. He estado cuidando. Cuidar is the verb in infinitive, cuidar, to take care of. Yes, to take care. And one expression. Ay, me entristece saber eso. In Spanish, we don't say oh, we say ay. Ay. Me entristece saber eso. It makes me sad to know that. Me entristece. Yes. Me entristece. It makes me sad. Me entristece saber eso. Okay, I'm going to read again for you to pay attention to the pronunciation, and please somebody read the sentences, okay? Sí, me encanta. Y también he estado cuidando a mi mamá. Ella ha estado enferma los últimos meses. Ay, me entristece saber eso. We have to say it like, ay, me entristece saber eso. You really feel it.
Sí, me encanta. Y también he estado cuidando a mi mamá. Ella ha estado enferma los últimos meses. Ay, me entristece saber eso.
Eso, súper bien.
Sí, me encanta.
Ándale.
You can go.
Sí, me encanta. Y también he estado cuidando a mi mamá. Ella ha estado enferma los últimos meses. Ay, me entristece saber eso.
Me entristece.
Diana, I have a question. Tengo una pregunta, por favor.
Sí.
¿Podría decir me hace triste en lugar de me entristece o no? No es
Me hace
común.
triste saber eso. You can say better, me pone triste. We use Me hace triste, me pone. Yes, in Spanish we wouldn't say the literal verb hacer, make, but me pone, ponerme triste. I'm going to try to open the chat, or if somebody can write. Poner triste. Yes, me pone triste saber eso. Me pone triste. Or me entristece, because we take feelings and make them into verbs. But yes, it's like when you say in English, I get sad. So you say me entristezco or me pongo triste. We use the verb poner to put in for feelings, and you say yo me pongo triste, I get sad, me pongo triste. It's like I put myself in this feeling. Yes, or when something outside of me makes me sad, I say eso me entristece, no, sorry, me pone triste, me pone triste is the verb poner. So it's like that situation puts me into being sad, into sadness. That's like the idea behind it, you know? Like,
so if I'm talking about feelings, then it would be the poner. But if I'm saying makes me go to the store, then I could say me hace ir a la tienda. Because
yes, yes, only for feelings. For feelings, we use the verb poner. Me pongo triste, like I put myself into sadness. Or you make me sad. Tú me pones triste. You put me into sadness. Something like that. It's like a way for you to think about it so that you remember that it's not hacer, but poner. It's like when we Spanish speakers, when we are learning English and we have to think of the verbs to fall in love. For us, it's so weird to think that in that way with the verb fall. How do you fall in love? It's like caerse en el amor. So it's kind of the same. It goes in the same way. Okay. What else? Okay, so I'm going to continue because I would like to show you this part. Para y reflexiona. Stop and reflect. Okay, so that you have one idea of what I wanted to show you with this conversation, and so that you can use those examples and make more sentences out of them, following the same structure. So I have here, he estado tomando fotos de animales, the sentence, which is my example here. Hay tres verbos. There are three verbs. Haber, yes, it's here, estar, estado, and tomar, tomando. Yes, we have three verbs.
What does haber mean again? Haber?
Haber.
Yeah.
In this case, in these sentences I was showing you, is the verb have, but when you use this verb as an auxiliary. So you know that have literally in Spanish would be tener, right? So when you want to say, I have a book, I have a book. In that case is tener in Spanish. Yo tengo un libro, right? But when you say, for example, I have been traveling a lot. That's like in the sentences. I have been traveling a lot. There, the verb have is not the main verb of the sentence, right? It's just a verb that is helping make the sentence. In Spanish, when we use this kind of sentences, these kinds of sentences, and we need this auxiliary verb, this helping verb, we don't use the verb es tener, but we use another verb, and it's this one, haber. So instead of saying, yo tengo estado tomando, so you need to say, yo he estado tomando.
Bueno.
Does that make sense? Am I being...
Bueno, gracias.
Okay. So I was saying here, down here, for example, I'm trying to explain that to you. Haber y estar actúan como auxiliares. Yes, auxiliary verbs. Tomar es el verbo principal de la frase. The main verb of the sentence is tomar, tomando, which is the form we use here, but is the main verb of the sentence. And here I have more explanation on the left side of the screen. You can see how the verb haber is conjugated to be the auxiliary. Yo he estado tomando fotos, right? Yo he. Tú has. Él o ella ha. Nosotros hemos. Ellos han. Or if you use the formal form usted, ha. Usted ha. This is the form of the verb haber in present, but this verb is only used for to work as an auxiliary, okay? To work as an auxiliary. Then, on the right side, I show you that el verbo estar siempre está en una forma llamada participio pasado. You don't have to know what's the name, but if you want to know, that's the name of the form of the verb, and it's estado, right? I used estado. Yo he estado estudiando español. Yo he estado tomando fotos. Yo he estado cuidando a mi mamá, right? Always estado, which is being in English, being, yes?
Like in my WhatsApp, I changed everything to Spanish, my language. It says mi estado.
Mi estado.
Yeah, mi estado.
Mi estado. Ah, yes.
So me have been.
Status.
Me have been in English?
No, it's because, but it's a different function of the word, because estado, when you see it in the cell phone, right?
Sí.
In the apps and everything, is
Sí.
it's not the verb, it's a noun.
Oh, okay. Entiendo.
Yes, it's another kind of word. So yes, it has to make sense. It has to do with the verb estar, because you upload a status. It's like, oh, this is how I am today, or You know, this is how so it makes sense that it's the same, it's similar to this word. But yes, it's a noun. So it means something different. Yes, status.
Is differente.
Sí.
So, Diana, estado could also mean like state, right? Like Estados Unidos.
Yes, estado. Yes.
Very similar in English. Can you also say like state of mind, which kind of like the current status of my thinking, or
El estado de mi mente. The mindset. Yes, it makes sense. Yes, el estado de la mente. Yes.
so there's a lot of functions for this word, really.
Yes. Yes, because it's this form of the verb estar, but it's also a noun.
Noun, okay.
Mm-hmm.
A state, like United States would be a noun, and here estar is being. One form in Spanish, the other one would be ser, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Estar and ser. Gracias.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's true, it's true, it's true. Okay, and to finish this grammar explanation and the class, because time is running out. So we have the first auxiliary verb, haber. The second auxiliary verb, estar, in the form estado, always estado. And the main verb of the sentence is in a form called gerund. I don't know if this name's, I actually don't know if this word name is in English, gerundio. But the form of the verb change in the regular way is in the end you add ando, yendo, yendo accordingly to if they finish in AR, ando. For example, caminar, caminando. If they finish in ER, yendo. For example, comer changes to comiendo. And if they finish in IR, you change to yendo. For example, vivir changes to viviendo. Yes. So it's 3 verbs all together. Something that happens in English too. You have 3 verbs following one after the other. But yes, they follow like this structure. Haber, estado, and the main verb it finishes in ando, yendo. Okay.
Diana,
yes.
gerund is the word that you were asking about. So gerundio would be gerund in English. Okay. And then, which is the ing word, right? ING.
Yes.
And then the estado mental, creo, es otra manera de estado de mente. I think you can say estado mental.
That's the
as a replacement of estado.
That's the phrase, estado mental.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be sort of a condition of the mind.
Condition of the mind.
Oh, estado mente.
State of mind. State of mind. Estado mental.
Mental. Ah.
Yes, with not mente but mental, like mental state, something like that. We don't say. You can say estado de la mente, yes, but normally we say estado mental. Do I have time? No, I don't have time. Well, there you go. We were looking at this conversation when you want to catch up with someone, yes, when you want to say what you have been doing lately and so on. So I hope it helped. I hope you learned a lot today. Thank you for coming. Thank you for participating.